Shawn
Hey,
C.
hey, Jamie P. Good morning. How's it going?
It's going very well. Thank you for asking.
Good, good.
Uh,
Well, happy Saturday,
Happy Saturday to you too.
and happy
Uh,
Saturday to everyone watching.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
when you're
great to
watching.
see you. You're all looking so well. Yeah, you're looking fabulous.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Jamie and I wanted to kind of make a little video to kind of say hi and talk to you, and give you an update on the buying process during COVID-19 and how that's looking, what kind of goes into that, and just give you our insight and our feedback to what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, because it is a bit different now, isn't it? You know,
Absolutely. It's a lot different.
it is. So let's not bore anybody. Let's get right down to it. So, Shawn, what do you think are the biggest changes now that we're starting to loosen this market up, get out there, show property? Um, um, what do you see as the changes that have made?
Well, the biggest thing is there aren't any open houses anymore, right? So in order to see a property, there's got to be some steps that are taken in order for you to get into the property. Um, Showings are increasing week to week since mid-April. They've been increasing per showing time, and Zillow traffic has jumped up to what it was last year this time. So we see that there's buyers out there, and people are figuring out how to do this. But in order to actually physically see the property versus a virtual showing, you've got to set an appointment. And the first step, though, prior to setting that appointment, we feel, and I hope, and I know Jamie may agree, but it's that pre-qualification process, right? Getting with a lender and getting pre-approved so that you are the serious buyer that you say you are,
Yeah,
right?
because they are requiring to see
Yep.
either proof of funds if you're a cash buyer or a pre-approval in order to get into a property. I know
Yep.
we have that, that's one of our requirements.
Yeah.
So, you just can't go look at look at a home today, right? You have
Yeah.
to be a serious buyer.
Yeah, it used to be that Sunday drive. Hey, let's go take a look at 5 houses.
Right.
But now, it's really, you got to jump through the hoops, a few of the hoops before you actually physically can see a property. But it's good because it paints a picture for what you can truly afford, right? And it starts to solidify kind of what your goal is and what you're kind of aiming towards.
Right. I think if owners are opening their homes to people, they want to make sure that the people that are coming in are both doing it safely and are qualified, so they're not risking themselves for somebody that's just looking.
Yeah.
So and that's probably around to stay, right?
I think so. I mean, it seems, it kind of seems that way. I think a lot of owners appreciate all the precautions that we're taking, and honestly, when you don't water down the buyer pool that's coming into your property, I think it's only to your benefit as a seller. But with that said, getting into the property, right? So you need that pre-approval, but also there's a form that's required. It's called the PEAD form, okay? And we're going to share it with you. It's hold on one second, I'll share it. Here's the PEAD form. This is required to enter any property that you go see. So every single property we have to prepare a new document. This is one that we prepared for our recent listing that we just opened escrow on in Sherman Oaks. Okay, we won't bore you with the form, but it's basically giving you, letting you know what the risks are with entering the property, what you're required to do when entering a property with the mask, not to touch anything, wear gloves, maintain your 6-foot distance, and anything else that you can think of. That kind of, I mean, that's
Well,
basic,
so
right?
so are there limitations on how many people can come and
Yeah,
look at it?
yeah. It's limited to 3 individuals, and typically what we've been doing, it's the agent and then 2 buyers, all from the same household too. That's an important thing to note. This isn't a time that you're going to be bringing friends in to come see your property that you might buy. This is really okay. The people that are buying this property, you're allowed into this property to take a look, to view it before you make this offer. But it's really kind of limited to that right now.
So where are the sellers at this time? Are they
So so we, in our, with our listings, we ask the sellers to leave the premises. they got to get out of their house. And we kind of keep, as a buyer's agent, I keep a close eye on our buyers just to maintain that safety, let them know what what they're, again, repeat it before we go into the property, what's expected of you, but just to kind of, be responsible with what we're doing in this property, right? We're not opening doors. So when we're listing a property, we ask our sellers to open drawers, open some cabinets so they, potential buyers can look in and see in, open doors. So we're not really having to touch anything. It's really this hands-off experience, but you still get that full, if you will, experience
Got it.
of seeing the
Got it.
property. Yeah.
So buyers then have to wear a mask. They have to
Yep.
wear gloves.
Yep.
Are booties or anything like that necessary, or is that kind of is that something that's being required?
Well, and as far as I know, it's not being required, but you may find that on a property I just showed, it was glove, mask, and booties. They asked you to wear that, so so that can happen. But and after viewing the property, discard of those things, right? So it's just this clean kind of break after you leave the property. So that's the big requirement. And then again, this is the PEAD form. So your buyer's agent, we will be requiring you to sign one for the agent. The listing agent will ask this of us, but we'll ask you to sign one for every single property that you go tour.
That's awesome. And like anything, this is I think this form is made by California Association of Realtors. I think you'll find that it's uniform throughout the state of California, and so it's a document that everyone knows. Happy to send it to anyone who wants to read it before they start looking, so they're familiar with it at that time. And you can reach out to us, and we can send you a copy so what's on that.
Absolutely.
What else is going on the buyer side of the market right now?
Well, I was actually thinking about interest rates and how amazingly low they are. We just pulled them today. The Fannie Mae market, 2.75, 2 3/4. That's how amazing it is. The door just slammed for that rate.
It was earth shaking. So 2 3/4, and how much down payment do you need?
5% down. 5%. I mean, that we were talking about this before we made this call, and it's just that's incredible. I mean, right? I mean, you've been doing this a long time. Where were rates when you bought your first house?
I think I got an adjustable rate loan that started at 10.5. And it adjusted had a 6% cap raise a year. It was home savings and loan or something like that made it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So nowhere near these rates whatsoever.
Where's the jumbo rate right now? Do you know?
I think jumbo, which is interesting because jumbo's at 4.25%, which isn't horrible at all. But I noticed that where they've really changed some of the jumbo requirements is the down payment. You have to have at least 25% down, and so those you need a little more skin in the game to buy something that's a loan that's over that's like 766. And then they got that high balanced Fannie Mae loan, or that mid-range loan that's up to 765, and that's 3 3/4 or 3.75. So again, that's a pretty great rate too.
That's great. And we were quickly, we were thinking about that, once you have that accepted offer, so you go through, you get this, you talk to the lender, you get this great rate, you go, you use your PEAD form, you go see a property after you schedule the appointment, you do all that, you decide to write an offer on the property. And after it's accepted, what's the next step? How does that look? In my experience Jamie and I have closed a few now during this COVID, both for buyers and sellers, five, working on a few more. And, One of the things that we are just, we are very cognizant of what's going on. So we actually both carry gloves, extra masks,
Yep.
sanitizer. So we kind of have our own little kit just in case, if, the buyers, you guys show up and you don't have that, or maybe one of the inspectors or something is not, forgot their mask or whatever it is. So just kind of letting you know that doesn't stop once the offer is accepted. It continues forward, all those precautions, right?
In other words, all the vendors that we're going to hire to look at the condition of the property are also going to be required to sign PEADs,
Yep.
wear masks, wear gloves, safety first,
Yeah,
right? It's safety first.
absolutely. So
Makes
yeah,
sense. And are you seeing any problems with that, or is there any pushback
no,
that you're seeing?
honestly, for the most part, everyone, we haven't really had to provide. I've had to provide gloves a few times, but for the most part, everyone shows up, puts their mask on in their car, gets out of their car, and comes in and see the property. I think everyone's, for the most part, got it, and I think it's that repetition and starting to realize that this may be the new normal,
Yeah.
and especially if you're going to see property, you know.
Well, it's definitely feels more community than it's ever been before. I think everyone kind of realizes we're all in this together, that um, industry and home sales are an engine that drives an economy, and we need to keep those things going. There's a pent-up demand
Yeah,
at these interest rates, and the lack of housing that's out there.
yeah,
It's really cheaper to own, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
it's just cheaper to own.
Yeah.
Which leads us to, like where we come in. We'd love to help you find that perfect environment, that home. There's no better place to be stayed at home than really your home, right?
And and with that said, no better time to start preparing now, even if you're thinking, um, well, I know might not be ready right this moment. We feel that springtime buying season that we typically see, that busy peak, is getting shifted forward to summer, when we hopefully kind of start to come out of this a little bit more, when things start to open up a little bit more and we start to really understand how to navigate. So no better time to get prepared, get that pre-approval, start understanding what the PEAD looks like, maybe what a purchase offer looks like. Start to gain that knowledge, start looking at property, so that when that market starts to, we hope, get more inundated with property again, we are at low inventory. So when we start to see some inventory come back on the market, that you're ready to pull the trigger on that property, that's going to give you, check all those boxes that you're looking for.
So real quick, are there still multiple offers?
Even now there's still multiple offers, not only, and we consistently see it, where our sample size is not only from the listing side, which Jamie and I just listed something in Sherman Oaks. We had multiple offers, it over asking price, and we're in escrow on that. I'm closing on a property here in about a week and a half or so. Multiple offers. We won that one for our buyers, and we do have strategies. Jamie and I have kind of through the years come up with different strategies to set us apart, set you apart as a buyer, because it's still competitive. It's still competitive because there's such a low inventory. And back to what Jamie said about the interest rates, they're just too good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more tools. I mean, if you want to start investigating and getting your feet wet, more and more properties have 3D walkthrough tours,
Yeah.
virtual tours, great pictures. You can actually feel like you've seen the interior of a piece of property through a Matterport 3D tour. We do it with every listing of ours now. So, by the time you're out there on the street looking at something, you got a pretty good idea what it should, it just needs to look like what it looked like online. Sometimes those wide angles help a little bit, but all in all, I think technology has really picked up the slack for the lack of mobility, and we'll continue to use that. Everyone should get familiar with how to use that technology to their advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, and leave you guys with this too. When talking about that first step of the process, the mortgage process getting approved, Jamie and I did a great interview with Joe Parisi from Guaranteed Rate, and we'll put a link at the end of the video here if you want to take a look at that video. I think there's some great information. He's an industry veteran and he has a ton of knowledge, and it comes out in the video. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool.
yeah, great. Thanks for joining us. Anything else, Jamie, that you can think of?
No, but if we can help you in any way, buy, sell, just questions, want to know what's going on in the market, reach out. We're going to try to do these informational market update videos consistently so you know what's going on. Follow us. Would love to hear your feedback on us, on the videos and what you would like to know. So thanks again, Shawn. You're a technology genius. I'm so glad you're a part of our team.
Well,
You know how to share a screen. Woo!
it's yeah, I'm yeah.
Good man. Awesome.
All right. Well, everyone enjoy your day. Jamie, enjoy your day. And
thank you.
We'll talk to y'all soon.
All right. Stay safe. Stay strong.
PearsonCusackGroup. We'll see you later. See you later.
Cheers.